It's the Dennis Miller Show. Tonight, Dave Coulier, Robyn Hitchcock and the Egyptians, Michael McCann. And now, it's him.
Guys are really deaf. No, you're fly. Trying to do the street thing.
Trying to talk straight to him. Maybe you should have described them as hep.
Hep?
Here, boss.
Fresh. What'd you do with your weekend, my friend?
Oh, I actually am still unpacking, Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
I went out, a friend of mine, went out to Long Island to our friend Bernie's beach house, and on Friday night he died, and me and the kid from Brighton Beach Memoirs had to pretend he was alive all weekend. It's just me. Goldie, what's shaking? We got a name for this group yet?
We're busy over the weekend playing rocks, paper, and scissors. We just couldn't get up with it.
No, we got to find a name for the band, though. Let's do that this week.
Yeah.
Organize a system. Should we let the people vote on it, or should you pick it, or do you have an idea?
We have ideas, but we don't have the one.
You gonna share them with me, babe, eventually? Here? Come on, open up to me. I want to get to know you. All right. What's in the news, kids? Senator Brock Adams ended his re-election campaign Sunday after charges that 8 unnamed women accused him of sexual misconduct. He said that while it ended his Senate campaign, he thought it would help him with his Supreme Court nomination. Oh, God. You're too easy. Don't give it up like that. I won't respect you. So Senator Adams is withdrawn for the first time, and, it's creepy and it's kooky, mysterious and spooky, it's all together ooky, Brock Adams' sexual history. Just a thing joke. San Antonio News reporter, you see this one? Brian Karam. He was fired from his job after he angered President Bush by asking persistent questions in a news conference. Did you hear that? Kid was let go today. Karam explained that he had forgotten to ingest the Prozac administered to all reporters interviewing the president, and that he would never again make the mistake of being alert and conscientious. Poor kid, I guess it's hard to come up with a euphemism for people who are starving. What are you going to do about it? If I would have known the little bastard was leading me down that path, I would have fired him. 48 million people in this country don't have health insurance. Bush has a plan. He's hoping that by November, most of them will be too weak to vote. You know, Bush is now using Pat Buchanan's very own writings against him. And I'll bet you right about now Buchanan really regrets ever writing, Adolf, we hardly knew ye. We had more rain in L.A. over the weekend. At one point, it got so bad here in Hollywood that some people actually stopped thinking about their careers for a minute. And, I'm in a really deep hole here, Nicky.
I didn't stop thinking about my career.
What joke would you like to hear at this point? Okay, here's one. This will get me out of the massive Marianas Trench that I'm in. Russia's first sex shop.
Now you got it.
That's the whole joke.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to risk a punchline on that. I got back to square one, I'll take it. They opened their first sex shop in Moscow. Already there's a line around the block for edible panties. Ba-bang! When in risk, go to that edible underwear thing. Huh? It'll never do you wrong. NASA is going to start studying the effects of sex in space. Nice to see the spirit of John Kennedy still living in the space program, huh? Pioneer 10 has been in space for 20 years today. 20 years today, this satellite. It was sent to distant planets in the solar system in 1971. Kind of embarrassing, all the other planets still think we're wearing bell-bottoms. And... These are a little weird. I don't think these are tailored for me. Look like they're made for Chester on Gunsmoke. Do you see the one leg is way down there and the other leg is...
For your patented limb.
I don't feel good about it, Nick. Following 2 days of ugly and bitter debates, what is that other party? The Democratic candidates for president today signed a pact that declares anything that gets said, quote, bounces off me and sticks to you except for good things. The pact is being referred to as the I know you are, but what am I agreement. Kuwaiti women are fighting for the right to vote. Boy, of all the nerve. Next thing you know, these women are going to want to show their faces in public. An annual survey of the nation's health risks shows that smoking continues to decline, but Americans are getting fatter. Did you read that? Yeah, so there are fewer butts in America, but the butts that are left are just huge, you know. It's, yeah. Thank you. You see the beauty? You see the beauty of what I did there? I was in a deep monologue hole. I supplicated. Sort of like a comedic rope-a-dope. I let you guys punch yourself on, now I'm coming off with that jab. It's beautiful. And finally, Basketball Hall of Famer Wilt Chamberlain was hospitalized over the weekend after complaining that his heart was racing. His doctors ordered him to get plenty of bed rest. And resting in a bed, of course, will be a first for Wilt. Tonight, my guests are Dave Coulier from Full House and America's Funniest People. And Robyn Hitchcock and The Egyptians are here. They're a fun band. We'll groove to them together and maybe fast dance. Oh, and on a serious note, the prosecuting attorney who put Jeffrey Dahmer behind bars, Michael McCann, will be here later in the show. Oh, Goldie.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by Dawn Dishwashing Liquid. It takes grease out of your way.
Well, what does that spell? I couldn't even make it out. It looked like ancient cuneiform. D-E-N. Oh, beautiful. Dennis. Oh. Hey! Yeah! I'm sort of like the new Dice Man. I was trying to light a cigarette there. Excuse me. Somebody thought I was having a sugar seizure. Hey, we got rid of that damn couch. I hated that. These are nice, huh? Little club chairs. Any change? No change. Look at this table. I can't believe this. Look at this. Get in close on this. This is supposed to look like Frank Lloyd Wright. I'm telling you, this is put on with magic marker. Look at that. You see that? It's just grim little strips with... That is so chintzy. I keep my Columbia records and tapes right in here. Oh. All right. Is that where it was? Oh, I'm sorry. Like that? Are you sure? Looks pretty chintzy to me. Just wanted to see it from every angle. I went too fast. I'm hyperventilating. Okay, I'm back now. What are we going to do tonight? Rainy Monday in Los Angeles, and that can only mean one thing. Time for the Miller's Index, our rainy day feature. Cozy up with some Carol Lawrence coffee. Remember, the first fact is always true, and you can find them in Harper's Magazine. Estimated number of pornographic videos rented each day, 550,000. Estimated number that were rented for a friend, 550,000. Remember, I got caught once. Worst thing that ever happens to you. Hey, I love you. You're so funny. Standing there with a porn tape. Okay, good. Oh, God. Low moments in your life. Average number of pounds of pennies in an American home, 6. Percentage those pennies comprise of an average American savings, 100. Average price of an artificial blood vessel in the United States, $315. Average price of one from Artificial Blood Vessels or Us, $300. Can't believe it. We're only 6 weeks in. We're doing Artificial Blood Vessels or Us jokes.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
Okay, where are the McNuggets? Cost of raising a medium-sized dog to age 11, $6,400. Cost of sending him to a community college, $18,000. Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes the dog only needs the associate's degree. Amount of hours it would take for all the Coca-Cola ever sold to flow over Niagara Falls, 23. They're just making this stuff up. There's no way they could know that, huh? Number of one-year-olds on the waiting list for the French for Tots program in New York City, 152. Of these, the number who have already mastered the phrase, oui, oui, 152. That was a cute one, wasn't it, huh? Number of Americans who play the accordion, 2,400,000. Number that have truly harnessed the instrument's haunting beauty, 0. And finally, the average duration of sexual intercourse for humans in minutes, 10. Amount of time it seems like if you're not enjoying it, eternity. And that is the Miller's Index. Sorry. See, I felt like Lafitte Pincay there. I had to go to the whip on you because I'm in control of my own destiny. You know who Lafitte Pincay is? Marquis de Sade's right-hand man. Okay, my first guest is one of the stars of the hit series Full House. I met those two little girls today. You ever see Full House?
Yeah.
There's little Village of the Damned girls. Oh, no, they're cute, but they made me drive my car into a wall. Into a wall. He also hosts a second primetime hit, America's Funniest People. Dave Coulier! Beautiful. Looking good?
Thank you, Dennis.
Little bearded thing, you on hiatus or what?
Yeah, a little laziness.
Mm-hmm. Give me the truth, though. Do you get along with this Sorkin girl?
Oh, yeah, she's, All right,
I just wanted to know. Everybody wonders, do you guys really get along, or?
Yeah.
All right. Do you know who Arlene Sorkin is? Come on, somebody. Give me a...
Some people know.
Give me a pulse out here, for God's sake. What happened? Hendrix
Danny,
in the room.
I get along with everybody.
Okay, I just
along
wanted
with
to know.
everybody.
Hey, now I know you're a pilot. You just tell me your big thrill, man. This must be the ultimate.
Yeah. Somehow the commander of the Blue Angels found out that I was a pilot and wrote me a little letter, invited me to come down there in El Centro, California, practicing for the air show, and invited me to come down and sit in the back seat of an F-18. So it was.
They do that a lot, don't they? That scares me sometimes. I hear everybody in Hollywood is flown with these guys. Feliciano, anybody. They're just...
Yeah, It's an experience. It's truly something that it's like 100 roller coaster rides all at the same time, because you're pulling G's, and they don't wear G suits, and they don't use oxygen, which can help you. And what they tell you is they'll give you a hook maneuver, it's called, and you grab both handles on either side of the canopy, and you dig your heels into the floor of the airplane, and you tighten your stomach muscles up, and you keep the blood flowing to the top half of your body. And the pilot will say, stand by, hook, and on that second standby, you do this hook maneuver, and he'll start into the maneuver, and you end up upside down, or
and you wear no G-string.
No G-string. But I was wearing padded underwear, which helped a lot, actually.
We got a little film clip here.
Yeah,
this
we
hook thing, maybe.
We brought a little clip here.
Okay, you voice over, Captain.
Okay. Here we are, rolling down the runway, and in a second you'll see full afterburners. And
wow.
That's a nice shot of my chins. And here we are, we're rolling here, and then we'll be upside down in a second. And he's real calm. Hey, Dave, why don't you take a look outside?
Tell you how calm he is. He's shooting you with a camera.
Yeah. And here we are, we're upside down, and we're going into another little roll here. And right now I'm filling my pants, I think.
Now, why don't they have your mic so they can hear you say, oh, oh, there you are. What were you saying there?
Right there, I'm saying, is there any way we could land right now? And that
wow,
was it.
that looks exciting. Now, I know they take people up a lot of times, but they actually let you fly it?
Yeah, the next day, the first day, I really didn't know what to expect, and I was really nervous, and, they said, gee, we really, because they literally had to pour me out of the airplane. I mean, you sweat, and you're pulling G's, sometimes up to 6 G's, and it's a lot of...
And now, see, I hear that talk, and I think, wow, I wish I was cool enough to know what that meant. What does that mean?
Well, we're sitting right now...
This is no G's?
This is 1 G. 1 G holds you to the surface of the Earth, and then when you start pulling, that's exactly what happens. And, it's really something you can't explain to anybody, but you really feel beat up. It feels like you've just run a race, and 6 G's is a lot of force on your body.
How many would I pull? Pretty hip terminology. How many would I pull if I just flew on a flight from New York to L.A.?
Probably 1.5.
Oh, so that's just like being in a living room.
1.5 G's, yeah.
So 6 must be really weird.
Yeah, you try and lift your arm up. He'll say, okay, try and lift your arm up now, and you're just like, okay, great. And you try and lift your arm, and it's 6 times the weight.
All right.
So that's pretty cool.
I got to pull a commercial. We'll be right back with Dave Coulier after this, folks. We're back with Dave Coulier. What happened? What'd I miss? Somebody sleeping? Wow.
That's it, I gotta go, Dennis.
Wow.
I'm putting people to sleep here.
Who was that? Wake him up.
Where's he? That used to happen in the clubs, but never on television,
He thought he was on the Arsenio bus, and then he got bummed out. Shows up, it's me and you talking Roger Ramjet.
Yeah, right.
Okay, good with the plain thing. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yeah, geez, stop it already. Come on.
Okay, now, hey, give me your newest cartoon voice. What are you doing?
I worked on a show called Bonkers, which is pretty cool. It's not on yet, but I did the voice of Bruno Kirby as a car.
Now, wait a second. Bruno Kirby, actor from The Freshman. The car is Bruno Kirby?
Yes, basically, Dennis, it was a car who was actually a criminal. And they said, come up with a voice for this. I came up with Bruno Kirby. They said, that's a sell.
Now, did you have to...
It's very strange.
You have to clear that with Bruno?
Well, I called him and I said, Bruno, and he said, wait a minute, it's me calling.
No, you really don't. It's just an impression.
Well, you can make a lot of hay at those cartoons, can't you?
Yeah.
I mean, those things pay pretty well to do the voices. You do them, didn't you do Scooby-Doo for a while or something?
That was actually the first show I worked on. It's pretty fun.
And Muppet Babies, right?
Muppet Babies, yeah, the real Ghostbusters, which I copied another person's voice, Bill Murray's.
Yeah, you do great, Murray.
So, you know, it was kooky, wacky, and madcap. But, you know, hey, like you say, you know, it was a paycheck, so, you know, I'm not arguing. So I got that going for me, which is nice. You know.
Now, that whole impression's built into that mouth being low on that
Yeah, I
side,
think so,
right?
Dennis. I think you pretty much captured it there, and that's the call, you know, whenever you're doing a voice like that. You know, it's like, whenever you do anybody, it's like, Jay Leno, your chin pops out, the voice is there, you know. Right away, come on, folks. It's a whole physical thing, you know.
Now, I know you and Saget are very close, but didn't you even take him in once with a phone call? Or...
Yeah, I've done that a few times before. I've never gotten you on any of those, have I?
You don't have my number, but back to
True.
Saget.
That's true. I called Saget as Bob Einstein, who plays Super Dave Osborne.
Yeah.
And Bob Einstein and Albert Brooks are brothers. So I called Saget and I said, hello, Bob, it's me, Bob Einstein. And basically I got your number through a series of friends. And I'm producing a film, and I think there's a part in it that I think you're perfect for. And so we called our managers, and they got Bob on the phone, and he just said, the weirdest thing just happened. Bob Einstein just called me and wants me to be in this film. So then I was on the other line. I said, basically, Bob, it's a nude role, and you know, I'm just hoping that, you know, this nude film stuff will really catch on. And he just threw a couple of expletives my way and knew it was me right away. So
now you're playing hockey too, right?
Yeah, in a game tonight, actually.
You do have a game tonight?
Game
now,
tonight.
Who plays? Who are the celebs? Jason
Well, this is
Priestley,
a different
right?
team. This is real hockey, sort of. We have
Tell us about the celeb team. Who plays on that?
Basically, Jason Priestley, Richard Dean Anderson, Alan Thicke, Matt
How old's
Frewer.
Jason Priestley?
Jason Priestley is actually 60, but he looks great, so...
No, I heard a rumor he's like 32. Is that true?
No, that's me. I think your card's...
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
That's you.
No, I don't think he's that old.
Oh, okay.
But we raise money for different kids' charities around the United States, and Gordie Howe plays with us, and Stan Mikita, and we get to play against a lot of players like Bobby Hull and Bobby Orr and Phil Esposito, and you know, it's fun. You know, we get to play at Boston Gardens sometimes. You know, we have 16.
Tight corners in Boston Gardens, man.
Yeah.
Isn't it like
It's a
10
small
feet
sheets.
shorter or something?
So is Chicago. Chicago's really loud, and the fans are... He woke up. He woke up. All right. He's up, man. Chicago. Ah!
All right, we lost him again. Well, thanks for coming on, Davey.
Thanks,
Good to
Ted.
see you. Dave Coulier will be right back with Robyn Hitchcock and The Egyptians.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by Budweiser. Nothing beats a Bud.
We're back. This is Leon. I just wanted to bring Leon out because I had, Leon, what's your name? Tell everybody.
My name is Leon. Leon Hughes.
Well, Leon, I inadvertently put him to sleep with my monologue. And I felt so guilty, I thought I'd bring him out. Leon, who are you with up here? You want to say hi to your friends? Who do we got up here?
Got a group called Plain Truth Outreach Ministries.
All right. How y'all doing? Leon, I wanted to bring you up here. I think it's time the proletariat took over the television stations in this country. It's always yank people like me talking about our next project. So I think I want you to introduce the band here. You want to bring them out? Can you see the cards out there?
Sure can.
Oh, do I have to say who's on tomorrow night first? All right. We'll alternate here. Tomorrow night, Leon and I will have... We'll have actress Emma Sands, rock group Dramarama, and who else we have in Leon?
Comedian Mark Roberts.
Right,
And gold medal winner, speed skater, Kathy Turner.
I didn't know we had Kathy Turner, did you? All right. Leon, I want you to, I have to do this first? Let me do this and then we'll introduce the band, okay? It's a little sheet from today's Filofax. Yesterday, the president of the United Way. Did you see this story? This is great. William, I don't even know how you say his name. Aramony? Is it Aramony? Aramony? As in, hey, where the hell's Aramony? He announced his retirement. He made $390,000 a year, plus $73,000 in other compensation to head the United Way, which he says still left plenty for the kids, no matter what government investigators say. I mean, can you believe this? $463,000 a year. Let's take a look from his daily schedule. 8 a.m., eat breakfast from donated canned goods. 8:15, skim. 9:30, book Concorde flight to Cleveland. 11 o'clock, go to church. Tune out parts I don't want to hear. 12 o'clock, lunch with church group at shelter. Shake head with disgust. 12:30, lunch with broker at private club. 2:30, yell at chauffeur for not refilling cognac decanter in limo. 3 o'clock, skim. 3:15, roll quarters from stolen United Way coin canisters. 4 o'clock, get scalp massaged and ask valet to instruct Grape Girl not to plop them in the mouth from so high up. 4:30, send gag memo to the United Way volunteers. The United Way, thanks to you, I just closed on my pied-à-terre in Pompano Beach. 6 o'clock, practice shamelessness. Discover I need no more practice. 7:30, rent Robin Hood. Get it all wrong. 10 p.m., read Swiss bank account under covers with flashlight. And 11 p.m., laugh at the little people. And that's all right, Leon, who do we got now?
My next guest brings both a musical and literary gift to us, to his songwriting. He is British born. He has a big following here in the States. Now performing their new single, Ultra Unbelievable Love, here is Robyn Hitchcock and the Egyptians.
Perfection, man.
Come over here, man.
We're back, and we're all awake. Last month, serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer was found sane and sentenced to 936 years in prison. Here is the prosecuting attorney in that case, Michael McCann. Hi, Mr. McCann. First off, I want to hire you to bring suit against whoever's trying to pass that black stuff off as authentic detailing. Now, do you think that America finds it, what do you think's more comforting for America in the dark recesses of its collective psyche, to have this man be considered sane or insane?
I think you'd find a division on that. He is actually a very sane man. I spent time observing him carefully. I think people are struck by the strangeness of what he did, particularly with the deceased persons afterwards, and the fact that he got away with it. It's very troubling. If he were to join this group, I can assure you that no one in this crowd would be able to identify him by any strange act that he might do. In other words, the most distressing thing about it is that he would mix with people and could not be identified.
What I actually heard or read that some people found him charming in the courtroom. Is that?
One of the psychiatrists testified that he had a certain force of personality. And this was an individual that was accepted by co-workers. In fact, we called as witnesses two of his employers. He had done a good job, appeared regularly at work, and I think that distresses people. You understand that he fooled the victims. 17 persons were brought to his home. One would like to think that you could somehow identify such an individual for our own safety. You would like to believe that if such an individual with such inclinations, that somehow you would sense it. He fooled police departments, he fooled probation workers. He was a man that was gifted in many ways. Several of the psychiatrists felt that he had a superior intelligence. I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm. You know, I think often that on the polar aspect of this country, people always find the East and West Coast to be sort of hubs of bizarre behavior. But I'm always amazed at the amount of times it happens in our heartland. Why do you think that is? That Milwaukee, I can't imagine a place I would least expect this to happen.
Yes, and for very good reason, because it's a wonderful city in many ways, and very typically we are among the lowest crime rates in terms of the four most prominent FBI type of crime ratings. He is a man, though, that could occur in any jurisdiction. He is a true serial killer. Mass killers are people that take a number of lives in one instant. Serial killers tend to be found sane, not insane, and tend to be people with a good deal of cunning involved. In this particular case, you must understand the police did not know what was occurring. He was totally disposing of the bodies. Can you imagine having a son whom you love very dearly suddenly disappear? No body found. Even to have a body found, as difficult as it is, you reconcile yourself and the healing starts after the burial. But in one particular case, the boy that he slew in 1978 in Ohio, that family did not learn what happened to their boy until 1991. You can imagine the agony of that.
They never even get to initiate the grieving process till after a decade
later. One of the families in Milwaukee where the body was totally destroyed. There's nothing to recover. One of those families is having a very difficult time accepting that he's dead. And indeed, the sister has said to me, and I've spent a great deal of time with the victims, the sister has insisted several times, no, she believes he's alive. She's saying that emotionally. In her mind, she knows it, but it's very difficult to reconcile that loss.
I think it's easy for us to obviously understand the trauma incurred by the families. How is the city itself? Is it bouncing back? Is there a specter?
Yes, it's coming back. I think the city, for the most part, was very pleased with the verdict, and I think there's a healing started then. And it had a negative impact, of course it would. But it's a beautiful city in many ways. I studied as a student in Detroit, Washington, D.C., and Boston, and yet chose to return to Milwaukee because it has so many attractive aspects to it. It caused a fissure in the community, but the healing has started, and I'm confident that we have a type of community where that healing will continue, and hopefully will come back an even stronger community than we were.
I've been there for the Summerfest, or is that what it's called? Summerfest?
Sure.
And it's just a beautiful bunch of people. I hope they all...
Every weekend during the summer we have delightful ethnic festivals.
Yeah.
We have a variety from Eastern and Western Europe, Africa, American Native festivals that are the envy of the world, I believe. It's by the lake, a beautiful park, the Summerfest grounds, beautiful music.
Yeah, so let's get Milwaukee back on the way to...
I work on the Irish Fest myself, and it's said to be...
Is there any beer drunk at that Irish Fest, Michael? I have to take a break. I want to come back and I want to talk to you about this very dicey area of insanity versus sanity. And we'll be right back with Michael McCann after this. We're back with Michael McCann. Before I move into the legalese of that insanity plea and what you think of it, how much of a part do you think that the contemporary culture plays in this? There seems to be a macabre fascination in the arts right now with cannibalism. Did they feel that this played a part in Dahmer's thinking?
He won't directly say so, and he hasn't. We asked him whether any films he had seen played a role, and he said that it did not. But no doubt he's a product of the current culture, and there's no question that some of the films in recent years have contained horror that I think in the past were simply not tolerated in the media.
How frustrating is it for you as a prosecutor to go up against the insanity plea, and is it being tightened up, the stipulations, to make an insanity plea?
Well, it certainly was tightened up after the Hinckley case on the federal level. You may recall the Hinckley case, the jury came back that he was sane. And after that, in 1984, the federal Congress changed the law and made it substantially more difficult to prove insanity in a federal case. We have what's called the ALI, American Law Institute, and the test is whether due to a mental disease or defect, the person lacked either the substantial capacity to appreciate the wrongfulness of his conduct or to conform his conduct to the requirements of the law. The defendant bears the burden to prove that, not the state. In the Hinckley case, it was the same rule roughly, but in the Hinckley case, the government bore the burden of proving that he was sane.
And that changed right after that?
That did. In 1984, about 2 years later, there was a reaction across the country of the strong feeling that he ought not to have been found insane. And the law was changed, tightened up substantially at the federal level. And a number of other states, in reaction to the Hinckley verdict, also tightened up their law.
Is the definition of insanity an across-the-board one in legal cases, or is it a state-by-state?
It's state-by-state, except the federal government. Of course, that would include all defenses in the federal courts. However, most insanity and most street crimes where insanity is raised, most murder and street crimes are tried in the state courts. So as a result, this was a new type of defense. It's not found frequently. It's called paraphilia. This was an odd sexual desire that this man had. It was odd in the sense not so much that his reactions were different than ourselves, but the object of his sexual desire was a totally passive individual or a dead body. And of course, that's very strange.
Now, at the end of this long, obviously the most ghastly of all proceedings, how do you must have incredibly mixed feelings when you win. What were your feelings when that verdict was announced?
Well, I was relieved for our community because I think had it been otherwise, some of the tension would have continued. And inevitably, 5 or 10 years from now, he would have sought to be released, and which would have caused a great deal of anxiety. I was pleased with the verdict. It takes a lot of preparation. We faced some very competent psychiatrists on the other side. We did use a California psychiatrist. Park Dietz is our lead psychiatrist, and a second, Dr. Fosdell from Madison. They were both very qualified psychiatrists. And around the country, district attorneys were worried that this type of paraphilic defense would be used in pedophile cases, that's child molesting cases, and rape cases.
So it was important to take a stand right at this and not let the barrier be pushed back any further. When I said mixed feelings, I didn't mean, I just meant, obviously, nobody revels in a human being being this broken.
And the family stood by him. His family did, which was to their credit, in my opinion. The families, of course, of the victims who had a terribly difficult time, but they took it with strength and integrity, and I was very pleased the way they bore it.
Thanks for giving us a little insight, Mr. McCann. Michael McCann, folks. We'll be right back with more Robyn Hitchcock and the Egyptians after this.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by Mars. Mars, making life a little sweeter.
Welcome back. I'd like to thank my guests, Dave Coulier, Michael McCann, Robyn Hitchcock and the Egyptians, and Leon and the group from the Plain Truth Outreach Program. Come back and see us again, guys. Thank you. Taking us home, Oceanside, Robyn Hitchcock. Good night, teenagers.
Bright green rocks all draped in seaweed.
When in Los Angeles, guests of the Dennis Miller Show stay at the St. James Club and Hotel.